Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back. We are continuing to work on the Retroactive Gamers featured game, R-Tag Rise. Okay, first things first, I kind of want to make another tile to do as a warm-up. Let's make a background tile that will sit on top of the one that we already have there. And this time, I kind of want some sort of a panel. Okay. Ooh, okay. We know what we want. There we go. Okay. Well, hello there. Hello. There we go. Okay. That's one tile. Let's yeah, let's do this. We're gonna make the image be cropped. Trim image to image size. And then we're gonna resize the canvas and do what? I guess 256 by 256 is okay. There we go. Comic style graphics. Tiles for the background, so trying to keep it fairly simple. Okay. I think that should be good. I think we can just make a clone layer here. Nice. Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Let's get brush. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I have never used Magica voxels, no. I think it's been also a long time since I've heard that last. Okay, let's resize the canvas to more. 512. Yes. We'll just duplicate this. Okay, what I'm going to do is attach a transparency mask here. We're going to go nuts on some transparency. Okay. I'm just going to go through these and first do the holes. Mm-hmm. Awesome, cool, good prototype map. I gotta say, I've tried a whole bunch of different tools, and I've identified that my main problem isn't the tools that I use, it's just me. Me and my imagination. No tools is gonna ever fix a lack of just practice and doing it. So, for the most part, I kind of stopped looking for tools. Sometimes something cool will come along, and I'll give it a try. There we go. I think we can also add a little bit of a hotter tone. There we go. All right. It's a bit concerning that there's no in between. It's either intact or completely and utterly destroyed. Okay, we'll see how that plays out. Export. PNG. Engine. Tiles. Tile sprites. And then this is going to be rusted BG panels. Cool. Okay. So we have the background. I think we can add this stuff here. I should probably save this. Tile sets, and this is BG tiles 128. Okay. All right, there we go. So we need to establish a second layer. So layers are right here. So I guess we'll just do layer 2. And then the Z index is 1. So it's on top of it. Although, might have to go negative 100, negative 99, because Z index of 1 is going to end up being on top of the walls. Distant, good day. And what the heck? Layer 2. Okay. I mean, it works, but the very edges being cut off is not exactly super great. But yeah, that kind of works actually. Both of them combined together gives it a nice randomness. Haven't missed a stream. Well, it also helps when I don't stream like close to evening on your time. Okay, I think we do need some in-betweens in terms of destruction. Let's resize canvas. Can we do plus 128 here? Oh, no? Yeah. Nice. We can. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna take these 4. Actually, no. I'm just gonna take this 1. Although, you know what? No. I should make a clone layer instead. We are making tiles, at least for the time being, for the Artigrise levels project. It's a warm-up to get the day going. Okay. Some of these things have kind of no rhyme or reason for being here. Some of these holes. That looks like a face. Okay. Which one's this? Alrighty. That is Krita. Indeed. Oh, no, that's... Hold on a second. Hey. There we go. Okay, well that's a little bit too repetitive. As a matter of fact, for the most part, it should just be the normal tile, and then the rusted ones would be inserted in between. So now we take this, and then we kind of sprinkle some of the broken ones in between. We actually, hold on, we have the ability to set the likelihood, isn't it? Paint probability. So if we do 10, that's 10. So if we do this, okay. So it's much more likely that that tile will appear. Let's go 50. Yes. That is much easier because we don't have to worry about it. There we go. There's a new Bendy movie. Was there already another Bendy movie coming out or released at that point? Cool. Okay. Let's double check this. You know what? Something I actually wanted to add. Basic sound effects. Just put that on the to-do list. Whoops. Also, I wanted to see if I can fix the whole particle flickering issue at the bottom. That's trippy, no offense. Why would I take offense? What kind of a pansy do you think I am? Alright, we have the laser particle. We set the position, set the emitting. And that's it? Well, that doesn't make sense. Hold on a second. Okay. I think it has something to do with visibility. The visibility rectangle not being long enough. We can't see the visibility rectangle. Preview canvas scale. Okay. GPU particles. Oh. Oh. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Width. The X position is the top left corner. So if I set it to 0, come on, it's here. Okay. The Y position is over here. I think we just set it to, let's see. The X position we have to adjust height 128. Okay, so I think process. Let's do this. Let's check if the emitting property is not the same as on. Emitting becomes on. So it's a one-time event, and it doesn't constantly like toggle it for whatever reason. What else? We need to talk set particle visibility rect. Laser particles. And then we need to set this one. What's it called? Visibility rect. Okay. Now, first we need the position. So, I guess let's take a look at what this thing is made of. So it's a rect 2. Rect 2 has position and size. So we do dot position. Where's the position going to be? Well, it has to be between the first laser and the second one. Which we do calculate already. We calculate it there. Laser light position. Because this is take the two positions and average them out, so that's in the middle point. But that's going to place it smack in the middle. Which means... Well, actually... Doesn't this mean that... Laser particles... Global position... The particles are always positioned by the looks of it. Wait a minute. Randef range? What the hell is this? Oh. This repositions the particle. This is how we achieved its being randomly positioned in all sorts of locations. I don't know if I want to do that. That might be a little bit... Yeah, casting or give them a type helps with knowing what class it's working on. That's helpful. Okay. So here we set the position. Why don't we do this only once? So we're going to do laser particles dot global position is going to be this. between the first one and the second one. And if we need to do this all the time, I'll make sure to reposition it there. Now, rect position. So since the laser particle is located in the middle, we need to do something about what? Something about the visibility rect being stretched out between the starting laser and the ending laser. Let me double check what this has done. What the heck is that? Oh, that's the... Right. That's the result of my labor. What the heck? Global position. Right. Okay, so the particle is now there. Okay, so this, I think, was the result of me trying to do what I was doing in GameMaker Studio, which is randomly position the particle along the laser and then have it spawn the particles there. Hey there! But unfortunately, this time around that is just simply not going to work. We need to actually physically adjust the laser resource. Now we can do that by making the laser resource local to scene so that every particle has its own. And we need to set the particle spawn emission shape. Emission shape scale. It's got to be a rectangle. Box. Okay. Emission box extends. Okay, so we talk to laser particles. Dot process. Oh. Process material. Which is, what's it called? Yeah, process material. And then within the process material, we're going to get emission shape. We're going to set the X extends to be what? Well, it needs to be basically half the distance between the two lasers because it extends both ways. So we're going to take this global position, distance 2, this global position, and divide it by 2. Okay. So that should do it. Or not. It validates at index X on base int with value type float. Emission shape is not what I need. Emission box extends. There we go. Extends TS. There we go. Are you not able to set the box in the editor? I can. Do I want to do it for the hundreds of levels that... Hey, that looks good. Do I want to do it for the hundreds of levels that there's going to be in this game? Probably not. I'd rather just automate it. Okay, so that looks good. I think what we can do is we can base the amount of particles on how long the distance is, divided by like a certain number. So dot amount equals, let's get the distance, and let's divide it by, say, 100. Okay. So, not bad. Probably a bit less. Like 20. Okay, nice. And I think the one at the bottom should now be adjusted. Hey. And it also kind of seems like the frames have improved as well. Likely because we're not repositioning the particle every single process frame. I need to fix these particles. Let's put that on to-do list. Fix saw blade, flying saw blade, particle. Okay. Make long-term systems. It comes with experience territory. Once you've like made 20 levels and doing the same old boring stuff, you're like, is this really what I want to spend my time on? Can't this thing just do it itself? Ooh, almost. Okay. Beautiful. So that works. I did note, by the way, there's a bit of an issue. And the issue, oh, where's my thing? UTPOI F3 F3. Okay. So there's a bit of an issue where the blood splatter particles are actually destroying the saw blades and lasers and all that good jazz. We need to actually make them be impervious to it. The blood particles are supposed to just like, well, not block other hazards, so to speak. I will set the visibility rect just in case. Now, this is relative to this node. So position is going to be half the distance. Position on the X specifically, half the distance, because it's, again, the visibility rect extends both ways. And then size on the, or width technically, which is size X, it's going to be the full distance. There we go. Vishal, hey. Good day. Ooh. Oh. Both characters? Nah, man. That would be a little much. I'm just controlling the one. What are we doing here? Scale wiggle, glow wiggle, laser light scale, laser beam and emitting. Cool. All right. That seems to be good. So, is this something that I can take off the list? Hmm. You know, for the blood particles, blood square, I think we can actually just set it to not exist on layer 1, and it will never impede anything else. It'll basically just detect stuff on layer 1, and that's it. Oh yeah, you know what? I know what else I'm forgetting. Lunge saw. Little trolley thing from the first iteration of this game. It's a saw blade that looks just like this one, but it lunges. And then players are like, okay, what's it gonna be? You just place one of them right at the end of the level, but you don't toggle it as a lunge saw, and you just watch players be like, I don't trust you. Oh, okay. The second player's is just recording and duplicating my movement. So if I do like boop, boop, and well, you know, if you can actually see it. So he's like boop, 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 boop. You can see it's, oh god, he's just following me. Which, you know, it gets the job done. He's just mimicking my movement. Makes it look kind of human. I could always pre-record myself playing the movement and just have him kind of follow along. But then it's like, it's not really fun when the AI is just like, here's how you do the puzzle. And then just runs on ahead. It's enough to do the effect. Whoop. Okay. Well, that's cool. I think the tiles seem to work okay, especially when they're joined like this. It's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I feel like maybe we should remove the backdrop from the tiles behind us. Wrong game. Hard Tag Rise is what we're working on today. There we go. Have you ever been able to complete this level? Close. I died at the last saw blade because I mistimed the jump. Can't read pixel data. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. So I'll export it. Oh, yup. Nice. And then I don't really need to save it, I guess. What effect makes camera bend like that? It's a shader. It just takes the final image and then reapplies it to the screen with a bit of UV bending. I'm back. Good to be back. Alright. So now that it's transparent, I can actually place some sort of a parallax background. Okay, and then parallax layer. And then on this layer, I can place something. Good day. It would be funny if you rage quit playing your own game. Oh, I think I'm too stubborn for that. If I have to spend 8 hours just trying to beat the level, I will do it. To my own detriment. Tile map. Okay. Let's see if I can, load up this tile map. I guess I can display the same tiles again. Okay. Right. Oh, there's only 128 layers? What a sham. Alright. Okay, minus 50. And then... where's the movement scale? Follow viewport. Oh, okay, they changed it. It's a little bit different now. We got a different scale property here. 0.8. Well, hold on a second. That gives us less control. What? No. We had vertical control and horizontal speed. So we could make parallax backgrounds that like scroll only horizontally but not vertically. What is this? Scales the layer when using follow viewport enabled. Layers moving into the foreground should have increasing scale, while layers moving in the background should have decreasing scale. This can't be right. scroll. Base scale, base offset, limit begin, limit end. Maybe this is what I'm... Maybe they moved it. Huh. Hmm. Parallax background scroll value calculated automatically when using camera. Yes, I think they moved it from here. But how do you make multiple layers move at different speeds? Okay, hold on a second. Let's double check this. As a matter of fact. Okay, so that looks like it. If I set this to 1, then it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. And if I do 0.5, that moves a lot slower. Oh, but it also scales the whole tile. Okay, what the heck? I don't want it to scale the tile. Follow viewport. Follow viewport transform. Okay, this is... Okay, so now it's static. Layer -50. Okay, so it's static. It doesn't move. If we enable follow viewport, it follows the viewport. But then if we do this, it scales it down. It's documentation time. Yeah, seems like it. What the heck? It was a perfectly fine working system. Why did you have to go and break it? We had like X speed and Y speed, or X scale and Y scale for movement. Oh god, okay. Canvas layer, canvas drive node. Now will be drawn in that layer, the layer's numeric index. Okay. Specific viewport cannot be shared between multiple viewports. See custom viewports. When using multiple viewports, for example, split screen game, you need to create individual canvas. Excuse me. For each viewport you want it to be drawn on. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. Parallax background uses one or more parallax layers, child nodes, to create parallax effect. Each parallax layer can move at a different speed using parallax layer motion offset. Motion offset. Parallax layer motion offset. This creates illusion depth in a 3D game, in a 2D game. Okay, motion offset. Where the shit is this? That's just offset. Transforms. I don't have anything in the search. There's no motion offset here. Hold on a sec. Okay. Scroll offset. Scroll. Scroll. Scroll limit. Scroll limit. Motion offset? What the What are you talking about? Can move in different speeds using parallax layer dot motion offset. This creates an illusion of depth. That's parallax layer. We were just here though. Hold on a second. Oh, that's a canvas layer. Oh my I put the wrong node. Parallax layer. There we go. There it is. Jesus. Okay. I'm an idiot. Okay. All right, we got it. We got it. It's a normal part of the learning process. You find something doesn't work, you blame the engine, then you figure out what you did wrong, and you don't retract your statement. There we go. Okay, so mirroring, no mirroring. We need to scale. God, I was about to blow it. There you go. That's what I want. Beautiful. So now, bring back the background. And then we need to make the visibility of this thing dark. There we go. Might have to make a better layer, though. Or better tile. Well, it's there. It does create contrast. Whoops. So angry the Wi-Fi shed itself. Yep, I have that effect on technology. Okay, so here's what I want to do next. We have a switch here, and I have these wires that I use to connect the switch. Power conduit, power path. There we go. This is not actually a mini game at all. This is a legitimate project that has been. It's like one of the first games, if not maybe even the first game I had set out to make. But it's been a long and learning process of scrapping and remaking and scrapping and remaking. So it's this project. First made in Game Maker Studio, but now remaking Godot, and I'm like, yeah, let's actually finish this. So, fun times. Right. So we have a switch, and I would like to connect the switch to the object that it is controlling. So what I think we should do is build a modular wire system, modular cable, because we have these sprites that we use for connections. What is it? Conduit something something. There we go. We have a power path and then power conduit. And these things are effectively big old wires. I have to place them manually, but I want to make one that's based on maybe like a path. And then it's going to be a tool. Okay. Close other tabs. Let's start with a path 2D node. Okay. So we're going to call it wire. And it is going to be given a script. So this will be placed into scripts preferably. Interactive level mechanics. Bar counter. Yeah. Beautiful. It's going to be a tool. Yo, good day. And in here, we need to know when the path changes. Item rect change, visibility changed. Emit it when the item's rect 2 boundaries, position or size have changed, or when an action is taken place that may have impacted the boundaries. I think we can try to use this to detect when we change it. So let's try this. print wire changed. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then this is level mechanics. There we go. How much work was it to port over Artec Rise from 3 to 4? Well, I lost all the levels because the tiles system lost all the tile references because, you know, Godot 3 and 4 had a vastly different tile systems, and nobody bothered to implement a system for recording the tiles, the missing tiles, so that you can just like use a fill bucket with a new tiler and then refill it. So all the levels are gone. I had to back up or roll back to the previous version, meticulously zoom out by like 10%, take a ginormous screenshot, save it as an image, and then reset back to like 100%, import the image as a sprite into the new engine, and then redraw all the tiles from scratch. So at least some sort of a solution was there, but it was a pain in the ass. Okay, so we have the switch. These are point lights. These are not switches. Let me add a wire. Okay, and then cannot get path of node as it's not in the scene tree. Okay, I think that's the vines complaining. Okay. So when I have this, add point to curve, move point to curve. Technically, this should be reporting because the visibility rect is changing. But alas, it's not. Wire changed. We don't see it. Draw hidden. Does the draw function maybe? Whoa. Hey. That's not what I want. Okay. Oh. Save it. There we go. All right, let's see if this causes it. Nope. That does not. That's fine. You know what? We're going to detect it manually. So var. How do we know if a point is placed? We have a curve. This curve has points. And that's how we know. Okay. Point count 0. And then we're going to do func process if point count is not the same as talk to the curve points. Is it points or is it something else? That is a category. Well, hold on a second. If that's a category, what the hell is this? What's containing all these points? Curve gives us curve 2D. Curve 2D has point count. Okay. And I declared my own variable. Okay, so point count tracker. If the point count tracker is not the same as point count tracker becomes point count. And then we can run our code. Generate wires. Beautiful. Okay. So what does it mean to generate wires? Well, we need to create. Rebuilding those levels sounds incredibly tedious. Yeah, it was. It was a royal pain in my butt, which is why I'm like always weary of porting. And it also, it's kind of a bitter state as well because I had to go through the exact same thing when I went from GameMaker Studio to Godot Engine. No levels from GameMaker Studio could be ported over. Not just because like there's no tools for it. I could have made the tools, but there's also differences in character movement and speed and jump height and all that stuff that I wanted to make a little bit more floaty in Godot. And that meant that the version in GameMaker Studio, like, there's no way I could use those levels. The player would just be able to beat them effortlessly. Okay, so what do we do here? Well, we need to loop through the points. So we're going to do for x in point count tracker. This is how many points there are. Maybe we should base it on the actual point count. And what we're going to do here is make a new sprite. So first of all, for every point there is, we need to create a conduit. Right? So we do for, or I guess var new conduit. It's a sprite 2D. Make a new one. We add it as a child. And then we set the texture to be equals to what? Well, we need to load the texture conduit. And there's actually two. So let's make it a dictionary. Conduit on. Well, actually, let's do it conduit as an array. And then just preload both these textures here. And then wire is another array. You can see in both cases, the off one is the first one, the on one is the last one. Cool. All right. Perfect. So new conduit texture is going to be equals to what? Textures. Conduits. Conduit to. And then we're going to access 0. And then we know that the wire coordinates are relative to the node. So I think we can talk to the conduit, set the position to, and we need to get the curve point coordinate. I think it should have a function for getting the coordinate if we give it an ID. Set point in, set point out, get point position, and there's the index. Perfect. Get point position, and then we're just going to put X into it. And that's it. Now, before we do this, we need to clear old wires and conduits. So for each child in, get children, each child queue free. So this should clean up old ones. Okay. Create conduits. Perfect. So we go here. Technically this, invalidate index conduit in base dictionary. It has failed. Conduit. Beautiful. Okay. Conduit on base dictionary. Did I misspell it more ways? Textures. Oh, it's right there. Unless I didn't save it. Line 25. I must be stupid. What is happening? Are you building new stuff or remaking features that broke? New stuff, technically. Or just improving on the whole wire system. Because I have to build out the wires using these individual components by hand. And again, I don't want to spend my time doing that. So I'm just making a little tool that is going to draw them for me. Okay. Okay, so this is a little weird. Maybe it's because I need to reload it. Hey, well, it worked. It's not really something that I need. And it only updates when I'm moving the points. But I suppose I can just give it a button and then have it detect. Yeah, just have it detect when when my mouse is in, or have it detect when I'm moving something. Does a curve give us anything that we might be able to use here? Returns the position between vertex IDs. I think if there's a distance of the curve, like the total pixel distance, we can use that. Bake interval, point count, bake interval. Nope. Nothing here that... Oh. Get baked length. Returns the total length of the curve based on the cached points. Given enough density, see bake interval. So get bake interval might actually be something that we can use to detect if the curve has changed. So let's do this. Print. And I think we need to do curve, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. So old length equals 0. And then in the process function, we can actually simply check if this, or if old length is not the same as the baked interval, old length becomes baked interval, and we run the generation again. Okay, and this means I can just move these points around, and it'll always create the conduits in the right place. Now we need the actual wires that connect them together. The way you were loading the sprite was wrong. I mean, preloading it should be okay. All right. Now, technically, to create the sprites, we need to use the same system, same loop. So we should be able to just do this. Get the sprite, get the wire, the position of the sprite is going to be in the same place as the conduit, and then we need to extend the range of it. Now, to do that, we need to enable region rect or region enabled. Then region rect dot size, or yes, I think dot size. That size width is going to be based on the distance between this conduit and the next one. We need to make sure this is not the last conduit. So if x is less than the point, how many points there are, then we can do this whole thing. Backend microservices and Golang. Godot seems awesome to learn. It's to say that it's feature packed would be an understatement. Like there's a node tool class for just about anything you need. I find myself having to program very little when it comes to like rudimentaries, foundations, basics. It's like Lego basically at this point. It's phenomenal. Like in GameMaker Studio, I had to like do 20 lines of code to just get a camera into the game. Because you got to create the object, set the dimensions, positions. You have to give it like set a viewport for it, like all that nonsense. Like, why do we have to do all that stuff? Like, yes, you have access to it. You also have access to the same exact stuff in Godot if you need to change it. But you know, if you're starting a new project, you're gonna be programming camera for the upteenth time, and that's when everybody's like, "Oh, why don't you make sample scripts and you save it, and so you can reuse it?" It's like, why isn't it just a part of the engine? Um, cool. Size X is what? So size has to be between the first point and the second one. So we have to do curve point curve dot. I guess we need to do get point position dot distance to the next point's position. And that's going to be, that's it. Get point, right. Curve is the one that has this function. Okay. So, out of bounds, doesn't like it. Curve, CP, what the heck? Oh yeah, I suppose that we need to make sure that if it's the, yeah, we made sure that if it's the last one. If it's less than, I guess, point count -1, I don't need to run the game. Okay. Oh, yes. And did we set the texture? We did set the texture. Well, I mean, programming, it depends on how you do programming, because programming in Godot really is like Legos, because all you do is manipulate nodes that have already been made for you, right? So I'm just looking at it from that perspective. Donut? I mean, it's like British and American English, so it doesn't really matter. I refuse to put that into my head. My head. I refuse to put that into my head because I got too much stuff to think about, y'all. Region enabled. Size X. I guess we didn't set the size on Y, but the size on Y has to be fixed. It has to be whatever this wire is, which is 16 pixels. Hey, look at that. All right. Now, the distance looks okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now, it needs to offset. We can either position it. Actually, why don't we just position it between the 2 points? Position is going to be the first point location plus the next point location divided by 2. Nice. And then we need to rotate it by that much. So we do new wire dot rotation equals first point, second point, angle to point. Beautiful. All right, all we have to do is make the conduits after we make the wires so they appear on top. Nice. And then we need to make the wires. Maybe I should just do it like this. Because the other one has, the other thing has arrows. So if I do new wire, repeat, text repeat, equals repeat enabled. Then it repeats the texture, and then we have this thing. Although that doesn't look too bad. Seems like Photoshop with scripting. I don't know if I'd say Photoshop with scripting. Nice, look at that. That's beautiful. So we can just paint these wires now. We don't have to worry about doing anything else. Liked and sub. We'll check on more another time. Peace. Sounds good. If you're still here, better off dropping a sub to the Retroactive Gamers channel. Link in the description. I think that channel needs way more favorability in the YouTube algorithm than this one. This one's alright. Appreciate though. Cool. So now we need to make it so that when we toggle it on, yeah, we need to make it so when we toggle it on, it changes everything to the on state. Cool. Okay, so it needs a toggle function and a trigger function. Now, before we do that, let me take a look at this switch. So it's trigger targets, toggle targets, and then when it toggles on, it sends the toggle. When it triggers, it just triggers. Okay, cool. Let's do that. So func trigger. Come on. I guess we need to know if it's on. There we go. On will be not what it is right now. And then, well, then we need to go through the children and we need to figure out, we need to change their sprites. Okay. The thing is, we have sprites everywhere, but we don't know what type of sprite is it. Is it a conduit or is it a wire connecting the two together? Now, I could do the lazy thing and set the name to wire, and then it'll automatically append to the name whatever it needs to do. And then conduit name is going to be conduit. Okay. Now, if we were to run this, and I go to remote, go to the level, drop down to the wire. Oh god, that's a lot. Where's the wire? There's the wire. Oh, it didn't change the names. Oh, hold on. It's because I never actually adjusted them to run the code again. Whoops. Okay, come on. All right. Let's run it again. Have scripts. I know that it has threads. They've added that fairly recently. Binds. Where's the wire? There's the wire. Okay, it still says sprite. So it does not change the name. Unless we need to add the name here after we add it as a child. Wire conduit, wire conduit, wire conduit. Fantastic. That's what I want. Okay. I don't usually like using the name of the node to figure out what it is, but I guess we can make an exception for this point in time. We're just going to check the name for presence of the word wire or conduit. So let's do func set wire on off. And we're going to run it when the trigger gets executed. And also func toggle. If it gets toggled, new state on becomes new state. And then set wire on off gets called. Cool. So for each child in get children. Okay, we're going to do if the word wire is in the name of the child, then we need to set the texture of the child to be what? Well, it's either 1 or 0 if it's on or off. So I guess on is 1, off is 0. So we can do integer on. Beautiful. In which case, we don't have to have an if. Well, okay. Else, I know that we only have one other option, but I wanna leave it here for the future me. If I come back, I could just immediately see what it is. So it's one of those cases where we can optimize it, but then is it going to be legible? Wire, if conduit is the name, then we do conduit on off. I think that's it. I think that's all that we needed to do to get this done. So this goes up here. It's going to go behind the laser. Okay, we'll sort that out afterwards. If we enable the grid, this might actually be a little bit nicer to look at. Delete that, delete this, and there we go. Okay, or we can take it down here, and then it's got less windings. And there we go. All right, we just got to take this wire, put it above the laser, and now that's going to be displayed behind, or it should be. Laser mounted 2. Oh, that's the other one. That's the one at the bottom. This one. Nice. Maybe even behind the walls, like this. Beautiful. Man, this is really cool. Okay. And all we have to do is we have to make the switch essentially toggle the wire. So it has trigger targets. We're going to get another trigger target. Give it the wire. And I think that's it. Okay, so right now it's... Oh yeah, it's supposed to be in the on state right now. And then you can see the wires on. So this is interesting. The wire is not being toggled. And this is because the switch doesn't toggle something from the very beginning. Okay, so maybe what we should do instead is make the wire scan for the state of whatever. So var on node scan. on state origin. And this is going to be a node. I think we could just do a node. Could we do a node? Could we just do this? Make it an export variable. Just any node. Any node to the derived node. Well, I guess just any node derived node. Let's see. So there we go. Okay, so we can assign a node. This would be the switch. All right. And then I suppose, can we set it to null by default? Yes, we can. So in the process, if on state origin is not null, then if on state origin dot on is not the same as our on, then on has to become the same as this on, and then we're going to run the set wire origin, or set the wire on off state. So this will scan for whatever the wire is supposed to be scanning for, and if whatever it's scanning is on, then it will itself become on. So this means that we don't need to toggle the wire. There we go. Okay, I mean, so it's done both ways. It's not doing anything though. Oh, well, hold on a second. I think it's because this thing just needs to be on. Switch on. Right. Makes sense. So it's on, it starts on, which means the laser's on. Turn it off. That does this. Yeah. Yeah, come on. We can see the backdrop there. Woo. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Cool. What's next? Well, next, I need to clear the to-do list. Okay, so path-based light up wires is done. What's next? Next, I was going to do some sort of a single path laser obstacle. I don't think I need to save this, but probably will. Okay, let's go 64. 64 by 64. This is going to be a laser, essentially. A single-ended laser. Ah, dang it. What the heck is this? Tool, anti-aliasing, no grow. Mm-hmm. Let's get a new layer. It's a big chunky laser. Cool. All right, let's save this. Assets, sprites. Obstacles, is it? Decals, foliage, hazards, interactable props. What is it? Jump ladder, pipe valve, timer switch, toggle platform. Interesting. Where's the laser? All right. So, I suppose this is probably not going to fit in here. We should see about making it out in the new scene. So we're going to go levels, template. Nice. We're going to save as. This is 20. Oof. 27. Nice. All right. Let's set up a quick playground. Beautiful. Let's get a new object. Get a sprite. Laser. Okay, how chunky is this thing? Objects. Obstacles. Slip block. Nope. We need hazards. Hazard obstacles. Cool. Let's get a raycast. The raycast is going to be pointing negative 1024. Okay. Maybe twice that. Attach a script. Single laser. Scripts. Hazards. There we go. All right. In the process function, if raycast is colliding. Whoa. Well, hello. Is colliding. Yes. Okay, so let's take a moment here for a sec. I save the scene. What's the problem now? Why are you not giving me suggestions? You... Raycast 2D. You're seeing what I'm seeing, right? It clearly reads Raycast 2D. There's clearly no other errors in the code. The documentation clearly says is colliding is a part of this class. Why are you not giving me the code suggestions? Godot, what do you want now? If is colliding is colliding what? Right, so this means that it is colliding with something. Obviously, we're going to have to design levels to make sure that they're always colliding with at least something. So we get the collision point. Raycast 2D. Get... Oh, God. I know that it's there. Sometimes I just need a reminder. Get collision point. There we go. All right. So we need a sprite. Sprite 2D. We have a laser something. Laser beam. Yep. All right. We're going to set the laser beam between the position of the laser and, or I guess the laser's tip, I should say. Yeah. No, that's fine. We can do it between the center of the laser and the collision point. So we'll do sprite 2D. Beam and body. I think we can rotate. We can place it like this. So body is the body of the laser. So the actual laser itself won't be rotating. And sprite 2D dot, that's a beam now. Beam. Position. I guess global position is what we're looking for. Is going to be set between global position of the body or the laser dot or plus collision point. And then we divide it by 2. Give us the average position. Mm-hmm. Ow. Attempt to call function is colliding with base null instance on a null instance. That would explain why it didn't show the suggestions, but why? Oh, right. We changed the location, so that's not the reason. Let's set this as a main scene. Save ourselves the headache. All right, so it's positioning it. That's good. We need to rotate it. Rotation equals, and we need to figure out the angle between these 2 points. Okay, next. We need to hand enable the region property, and then region rect, yes, dot size dot x. So we know that it's, how big is it, this thing? 32 on the height. So that's 32. And then x on the width. What's the width? Width is going to be the distance between these two divided by 2. It might have to be divided by 2. Because I think rect extends. Or maybe not. Let's see. Okay. It's doing something. The rotation is not correct because it has to be global rotation. There we go. Nice. The beam will have to be displayed behind parent. Show behind parent. Noise. Beautiful. Which is precisely the reason why this lens, I think it should have a gradient. Foreground to background. From orange to dark red. And it's got to be linear. Nice. Sure. Oh. Hold on. That's not the right layer. There we go. All right. What's next? We know that we have the laser with the same exact beam, and we use it to scale. Aha, so we just scale it on the y-axis by the looks of it. Okay, I'll just copy this. I guess it's fine if it's only colliding. Okay, we have scale wiggle, which uses beam wiggle time. And we're actually going to be increasing it by 10 times delta. Okay, scale wiggle is going to be declared a wiggle. That's alpha. Okay, we're going to comment this out for the time being. No light scale, but I'm pretty sure we might have something. Okay. Cool. Let's give it a test. And it crashes. That's because we need to make sure we're talking to the right node. Laser glow scale, that's not in here yet. Nice. Okay, except needs to be a bit faster. Yeah, beautiful. That's perfect. All right. So all that's left to do, we don't have any signals here yet. Nope, that's fine. So if, let's get the collider. So raycast 2D, get collider. I believe that's still a thing, right? Get collider. Yep, perfect. If collider is in group called player group, then we need to damage the player. How do we damage the player? Let's take a look at the simplest damaging object, which is the spike. Hurt equals true. I think that's it. Nice. Function is in group based on null instance. Right. We have a chance that we might be colliding with something, but whatever we're colliding hasn't been collected yet. Bam. Failed. All right. Single player right now. All right. That works. Why don't we, while we're on the subject of laser, give ourselves a bit of a particle. Let's do 32 by 32. We're gonna do like a spark. It'd be like a big piece of plasma. Okay, let's do new layer. Oh, easy now. Okay. Let's drive this over here. Oop. Okay. It's a lot of straight angles. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take the fill bucket. And I think it would be like going from... I think I'm gonna actually make another layer and just make it be only visible on the layer beneath it. Or only make it fill if there's stuff on the layer beneath it. So we're gonna make it, I guess, red. Okay. And then base color. And then what I want to do is make it go to what, like orange, yellow? But we're going to make it do so. I think the closer it's to the center, the hotter it gets. So we're going to do more of a red on the outside. We'll see how it works out. And then this is the center. Make a new frame. And then we're going to do this 50% opacity. And we're going to make it grow in the negative direction. Like this. We also need to reduce the threshold. Like this. Okay. Now if we go slightly smaller, it will get redder the further it gets inside. Okay, and then we need a new frame for every one of these. Oh yeah, that's right. It ended up only filling the inside here. Okay, can we just... Thank you. And then... Alright. Can I just create all of these frames? Insert multiple keyframes. Number of frames. No, that's too much. What is this? This is frame 22. Alright. think I've seen a sprite program mess around with what look like post-processing effects. Nice. It's a little bit concerning that it doesn't end in the middle, though. Nice. Okay, so let's call it, let's go to assets, sprites, and this is laser magma. Okay. Don't need transparency. And because this is going to be used on the particle, we're going to have to render this out as a single sprite sheet. So we're going to use this little plugin. It's going to go to engine, sprites. I guess this is particles. Yep. And then this is laser magma. Cool. See what that looks like. Yeah, nice. Okay. Hopefully this works. Let's get ourselves a particle. Subemitter. No, don't need that. Process material, texture. So texture goes here. Process material. No. Process material. Particles material. There we go. All right. So first things first, we go to material and then set canvas material to use particles animation. How many frames? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 5. Nice. And then we go to the process material, and in the display animation, set the minimal speed to 1. There we go. Cool. So that should do it. That should make the particles. There we go. Okay, and let's go 16 particles. Oh, that's not it. There we go. I think maybe for now we're gonna disable the what is it? Gravity. Nice. Okay, so there it is. There's the laser particle right there, although I am looking to also get some spewing going on there. That's the single trail. Let's do another one for splashes. So for the splashes, we're going to make unique the process material, and then accelerations, spawn, velocity. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It actually inherits the velocity of the emitter. That's very interesting. Okay, so I guess velocity limit. inherent velocity ratio. That's really cool. That is going to be super useful. Okay, spread, flatness, initial velocity minimum, maximum. There we go. Spread. I guess it's going to go in all directions. It's going to be fairly short-lived. All right. What about the angle? Okay. Let's reduce the scale. Nice. Turbulence. Oh, that's taken a while to process. Jeez. Okay. Noise speed, noise influence, displacement, maximum. Okay. That's really cool. This is supposed to be like, what, 24? Instead of having too many of them. Although the laser beam is going to be pretty large, so I think velocity needs to increase a bit. Let's go higher. Nice. Alrighty. Splashes will have to go also in the same location. Oh, come on. Nice. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay, that's too small. Let's get back up to scale. Display, scale. That's more like it. Okay, now the whole point of that is that we can now place this anywhere we want. Let's make sure that it doesn't emit right away. All right, and then func ready. Let's make a variable called on. It's going to be an export. So we can set it, and then if on is true, we could just say magma dot emitting. Okay, I'm also not getting any signals here. Magma, or not getting any code suggestions. I believe that's correct. On. Alrighty, and then in the process function, it's going to be updated if we say toggle it. So this thing needs to be triggerable and toggleable. I have these comments that I leave triggered, toggled. I leave in the objects as a note of what can be done to it. So trigger on becomes not on. There's no underscore. Toggle new state on becomes new state. Okay, and then the rest will kick in. We need to make sure that the collision only works when it's on. So... So if collider not equals null and on, I mean, realistically, this whole routine should not be running if it's not on. So if on and if on is true and it's colliding, do this whole thing. Okay, and the beam needs to also be visible if the whole thing is on. And that's basically it. Bam. And what we can do now with this nonsense is we can place it into things like rotators. What is it? It's like generic spinner. Just going to add a little something to the name so that we can find it using either keywords. Okay. So generic rotator. Beautiful. And then we take the generic laser. And then we can do something like this. Put in the rotator. And do crazy nonsense like this. Alrighty. And what? Interesting. Cannot open file generic spinner. Well, you see, Godot, you're telling me that you're scanning all of the files and then updating all of the, all of the scenes, but you're not doing it. You're not doing it, even though I'm renaming everything within your own. This means every other level that I used in the rotator is now fucked. What the shit, Godot? Like, what is this? Generic spinner rotator. Yes. Okay, that doesn't want to. Like, this is the most annoying stuff. Like engine design 101. You rename the node, make it update. Hey, okay, that's very violent. Also, what the heck is it colliding with? I guess it's not colliding with anything, it's just reaching the edge of something. Also this, the fact that it doesn't remember what tiles it has selected. Alrighty. Oh, hush now. Okay, and our camera has some awkward limits. Awkward default limits. Camera handler. I'm just going to go into the template and then reset the camera handler limits there. Nice. Okay, curious. So what is it that it's colliding with all the way around? Oh, you know what? I know what it's colliding with. It's colliding with nothing because there's an empty vast of empty space all around the level, and we are explicitly supposed to design it so there is no such thing. So that's on us. Nice. Okay. Now, what if the laser mounted, or laser this one, ups the particle count? So, interesting. This doesn't look like it creates any more particles, to be honest. It looks like it just creates the particles at the same exact interval. Like, look, it's the same location every time. Doesn't matter if it's 32 or 132 particles. Hmm. Also, I think splashes can be in local space. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. That does not look like 500 pixels. That does not look like 500 pixels. What the heck? Is it scaled? Okay, I'm just going to increase the visibility rec so the particles don't just magically disappear. Well, they still do that. 1,000 by 1,000. Okay. Okay. Right, so this is interesting. The rate of the particles doesn't seem to increase. Like, it always has that one step. Curious. If true, results fractional delta calculations, which has smoother particle display effect. Interpolate enables particle interpolation, which makes the particles movement smoother. Then their fixed FPS is lower than the screen refresh rate. Fixed FPS. Is that why? Not really. Also, we can barely see the particle, the splash particle. Okay. Actually, it's the magma that I should have been editing. Let's double check this. That's more like it. It's still not great. Oh, you know what? These might actually be considered damage zones by the players. Yeah, okay. Hmm. Not bad though. Looks pretty cool, I'd say. We can do something about the whatchamacallit. The splashes, though. Make them a little bit larger. So this thing isn't really supposed to spin this fast anyways. Let's look at it realistically. That's more like it. Nice. Okay. Well, found a cheat. Interesting. Oh, nice. Okay, I like this. This is pretty cool. This is a whole new addition, a whole new feature. Okay. Nice. I think the laser sprite could be the actual big laser could be a little bit better. Okay. So yet another feature comes into the realm. I'd say this is pretty cool. So, and because it's also running on triggers and toggles, we can do stuff like a single switch triggers one set and then untriggers another set and toggles them. Does all sorts of good stuff. Cool. And then this can be placed onto other stuff. Like this can be placed onto rails, followers, spinner in the rail, and then follower in the spinner, or vice versa, and then lasers in the spinner, and everything is just everywhere. Cool. Okay. I'd say this is pretty damn good. Now, we don't really have a level here, per se. I suppose one way to do it would be to place this up here. Nice. One cliche question. What's success for you? Um, I mean, I would say that people played the game. I think that would be pretty cool. I think success would be kind of like when this is capable of supporting me. I'd say that would be a pretty good success. I also think that success alone is only one vector, Because I can still enjoy working on the games without necessarily them being successful, you know? Nice. Cool. I think what we're gonna do, just to be assholes, we're gonna take this, place it right here, and then we're gonna clear these tiles and put slip blocks here. Okay, and these are the ones you cannot jump off of. Yep. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, that's a problem. Whoa. Nice. There we go. All right. Fairly simple. And that's yet another level that we just made. Cool. Okay. What can I take off the list? Single-ended raycast laser. That's done. Okay. Projective saw blades can be destroyed by player blood. That is done. We just simply made it not exist on a collision layer, but just scan for collisions. All right. Flying saw blade particle. That's something we need to fix. What else? Spring sign, wave-based, rubber band flinging parent obstacle. Okay. So it's basically a feature that allows me to create a curve, modify the curve, and the curve will determine the motion path of an obstacle. So we can create some wacky back and forth motions, kind of sporadic. Technically, we have regular path followers, but they just follow a path at a static rate, right? They don't really have much in terms of adjustable custom motion speed. Okay. What else? Two-player interactive progression gate object. That's an important one. There's going to be certain parts in the level where I need to guarantee that both players are in the same place. In Dead Space 3, in Resident Evil, if we're playing co-op, there's usually going to be like a door or gate or some sort of an interactable object that requires the interaction from both characters at the same time. And that guarantees that they're both in the same place. So that's what we're gonna put together. Why don't we maybe go ahead and fix up the flying saw blade particles since we're here. Let me save this. This is going to be level 28. Okay. Saw cannon. It's going to be right here. Let's set level 28 as the main level. Okay, yeah, so that's the particle we need to fix. Okay, saw cannon spawns in saw blade, which I still can't click in order to navigate to. Come on, you. There we go. Maybe it's my mouse. Who knows? Okay, and that has the saw blade explosion, which is what we actually are looking for. Okay. So disable one shot, enable emitting. Oh yeah, that looks like ass. Let's give it a new particle process material. Okay. So I suppose for accelerations, a little bit of gravity is okay. Just a touch though. This particle is actually painted off center so that we can do some fake turbulence. So we can do, that's radial acceleration. We need spawn. Angle 360. Okay. We can do velocity. Okay. Then we can do scale. 0.2, 0.5. Give it a curved texture so that by the point of death, they all dissipate. And then we need to scale over the velocity. That's cool. Let's get rotation. Maximum radial acceleration applied in each particle makes particle accelerate away from the origin or towards it if it's negative. That's not what we need. Radial velocity. Maximum radial velocity applied. Maybe that's not it. Angular velocity. There we go. So this is the speed of the rotation. There we go. So you can see all the particles start spinning, but because the particle was painted off center, it causes all of them to spin a bit turbulently, which is a nice little cheap effect. Okay, let's set the color ramp. Okay, this goes from orange to red. Oh, come on. Select to red. Nice. Cool. Maybe we can also do random lifespan. Emission lifetime randomness ratio. Okay, there we go. I think that should do it. Nice. All right, so that's fixed up then. Down in a down pile. Here you go. Fix saw blade particles. That's done. All right. Shall we actually make a level out of this, though? Oh, God. I just thought of a really annoying level. Ugh, okay. Just thinking about it is already putting me on edge. Okay, so imagine we have the platform we start with. We have the platform for the elevator. Okay. Now, we have a wall on the left. We have a wall on the right. If I paint it right. And now we're starting with a laser. So we can do laser mounted. Place it right here. And then into it, laser mounted end. Place it right here. Okay. Now, the switch that is going to disable this is going to be located right here. I'm just going to nest it inside, no big deal. Let me set the dimensions of the grid, 32 by 32, like this. Okay, so that's where the switch is located. Now, so we go down here, enable the switch, or disable it. Cool. Well, let me establish the connection right away. So it's on, and then it runs a trigger command on the laser mounted. There we go. So it goes to like the parent node. Okay. Now, when I go here, there's a laser down here, and the switch for that is located past this one. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. All right, let's just use even numbers, even spacing. Okay, and then right. So this is located past that switch. So this one turns off this. This one turns off this. And then from that point, it's just pretty much just rinse and repeat. Oh god, that's just... So that's going to be here. Let's just extend the tile just a touch. I guess we can use the even numbers. Even grid spacing. What a pain in the ass. Okay, so let's see here. So that's here. Okay, so that's here. Then we go up here. Who's your target audience? Devil? The sinful. I mean, realistically, if you go down here, you flip the switch, and then you're already down here. So you see this laser, you got to go back up here, flip this switch, right? Cool. Then you see there's another laser down there. No, don't put it inside. You know what I'm trying to do. There we go. Okay, this is the third one. So this switch is down here. Who's your target audience? The devil. That's funny. Cool. All right. So 28. Let's run it. And we crashed. Saw blade. I have accidentally erased the path. That happens a lot. All right. And then this will make use of it in a little bit. Okay, so we go here. Bam. And that turns it off here. And we go here. Bam. That turns it off here. See, it's not too bad. Okay, and then there's a laser down at the bottom. Okay. And then what's beneath here? Well, beneath here, we're going to have a power switch. Yes. And then this thing is going to be powered. And we're going to make it power the exit elevator. Perfect. You already know the steps. You know. Just got to figure it out. Okay. Now, here's another thing. I said that I was going to make use of these ones. Okay, so what do we have here? We have blade, speed, shoot delay, shoot frequency. So that's how often it shoots. We can get a timer switch or the saw cannon technically doesn't have too much code here. It has a start timer and an end timer. When it's shooting, I kind of want to add a pattern code here, like how many times it stays on, how many times it stays off. And if there's no pattern, then it's just it. What if we do this? What if we do var pattern, which is going to be an export variable. It shall be an array of booleans. Can we do that? No, cannot be type. Can we do this? Yes, we can do this. Okay. So the saw cannon pattern. So we can do pattern of 14 units. And it's shoot, 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 off, off, off. And that's going to be the window. And then it goes to the beginning. Okay. So, var pattern index 0. And then here, when the shoot timer runs out, if a pattern is supplied, use it. Okay, so if pattern size is more than 0, then we're going to do pattern. We're going to access the current pattern using pattern index. And then what? I guess we can play the animation first. Or maybe not. We don't play the animation if there's nothing to play. If there's nothing to shoot. Okay, so if this is false, then we return out of the function. Nothing gets shot. But we do need to increment the index. Plus equals 1. And then if the index is above or equals to the size of the pattern, then pattern index sets to 0. Cool. Okay. And then now we're just going to adjust the speed. Where's the saw cannon? There it is. Set the speed or the frequency every 1 second. Beautiful. It is on. What happened? Oh. If the pattern is false, then it does this whole thing. Oh, no, it's supposed to be... Dang it. If the pattern is false, it adds +1. If it's true, it still adds +1, but if the pattern is false, then we have to do this. We have to return. And then we have to make sure this takes place in both cases. At this point, we might as well just take this, say if the pattern is true, then we shoot. Okay. The increment takes place either way. There we go. Oh yeah, but what if there is no pattern? That's not good. All right, let's do this. Var shoots false. Okay. If the pattern is false, shoots stays as false. And then if shoots is true, it shoots. Okay, starts as false. Well, actually, starts as true in this case, because if this isn't actually set, it has to shoot all the time. So in this case, if it's false, shoots becomes false, and then we still increment, and we still check if the pattern is over the size, and if it is, sets it back to 0, and that's it. Cool. I think that should do it. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And the animation is not playing. And then skips 3, and then shoots again. Okay, so what if I do 0.5? I think the animation is not playing because the animation got deleted during the porting process. Shoot. Yep. That's what it is. So we have the bracket. Position. And then the position gets pushed back. That's the new position, and then returns back forward. Nice. And it's okay that it snaps forward. That's totally fine. Not a big deal. If anything, it looks snappier. Okay. 0.25. That's the idea. Okay. So when we get up here, we enable that. That is going to enable all the saws. The player can't just drop down though. So I suppose we're gonna have to place these under the fact. Okay, don't place it right on the spawn area. That's not good. Come on. All right, saw cannon. So we're gonna take this switch, and then it needs to, how many? 5. Saw cannon. Saw cannon 2, 3, 4, 5. And these things are going to be disabled in the beginning. Oh, right. And then we do this, and then that begins. Oh! God damn. And there's the piss off. Oh. Okay, easy now. Don't get too cocky. Oh, oh damn it. Son of a bitch. Okay. It's okay, it's just a waiting game. You just gotta be patient with this one. Oh. The characters look like someone. Yes! The excuse me. Ah, damn it. The whole point is R-Tag Rise, Retroactive Gamers Rise, which is supposed to be our brand game, the Retroactive Gamers game. This is Tim and Milo. This is us. Okay, easy. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I should totally put spikes at the bottom. Whoop. Okay, so that didn't work. Button prompt trigger. Not exists a function trigger on base. Button prompt doesn't have a trigger. Hold on a second. Button prompt doesn't have a trigger? What does it have? No trigger? Oh, hold on a second. Did I attach the whole thing to something incorrect? No, that's... What is this? When we interact with this thing, button prompt... Oh, trigger is supposed to be the wiggle. Interact wiggle. Okay. Bonk. That doesn't make sense. Do we use this anywhere, or can we just make use of it correctly? Find in files. Okay. Timer switch used interact wiggle. Yeah, so... The hell with this. Where's the switch? Power connection. Yeah, right here. So trigger all targets, that's fine. But the prompt is supposed to be wiggling. There we go. That was a failure. I'm gonna have to record some sound effects for the splats. Like, that's gonna be fun. Ooh. Easy there, boyo. Oh, how did I survive that? Okay, it's better if we do it on... Oi, nice. We're gonna have to remove that block, of course. Okay, here we go. So if we go here, nice. Trigger, beautiful. Our label's a little small. Oh boy. Oh, jeez. All right. And there we go. Nice. I'll go off for a second. He said it returns a few hours. He did. All right, let's get this block removed. Okay, I said let's get this block removed. Clip the one you made. Oh, if I made that one, I can make it again. That's fine. Spike. All right, just to be an asshole. Here we go. There you are. Beautiful. Have fun. Alrighty. So, cool. That brings us to about 3 hour mark, I think. Let's see. Anything off the to-do list that I can take off? Spring, sign, 2-player interactive progression gate. We still need to do that. Basic sound effects, still need to do that. How are we doing on time? Technically, I'll have more time after this. Okay. So, I'm going to take a break. Maybe 30 minutes. I will pause the stream. And we'll come back and get some more stuff done here. So for now, I'm just focusing on putting levels together. I'm not doing too much decorative stuff. The only reason I did decorations here is because I had to paint them and figure out what they're supposed to be. But this is looking pretty good, I would say. Can we adjust modulus on the individual layers here? Just out of curiosity. Yes, we can. Nice. Okay. So we can do this. Ooh. Hey, that's interesting. Very mossy. The whole point is creating contrast. So I don't want the background to pop too much. I want the players to be the most visible thing. Ooh. Oh yeah, we also need some sort of paths for these saw blades, which I think I can just remake the saw blade system. Wow, this is suddenly all super easy. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah, I can remake the system that I made for the wires to draw the paths for the saw blades. There we go. It's going to be co-op, yes. That's the point of the other character. Ah! Nice. Cool. Alright. So, that's it. Nice. I think maybe putting it a little bit more work into the various tiles. I might even, you know what? I might even make some sort of an auto tile out of this tile. Right? Let me put that on the to-do list. Turn big panels, big background panels into auto tile. So we're not going to remove these ones. What did you do to make it easier? I got good. I simply got good. That's the secret. Get good. Yeah, I'm going to see about turning this into an auto tile so that it's not super blocky and we can actually make some interesting elements out of it. Some more interesting designs. I think that's going to be looking good. No way. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I did die to this saw blade here, but, you know, that's just because I'm stupid. Cool. All right. See you later. Yeah, give me like 30-ish minutes. Just gonna take a break and be right back. Cool. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back. Don't forget to do this. My microphone gets muted when I'm on that screen. Popping over to the, there we go, to the Retro Gamers channel, and then drop a sub there. All right.